what's something that comes to you that you really enjoy doing right now in your life? Like any kind of activity or moments in your day that you could kind of feel into a little bit right now?
Uh, I like storytelling. Well,
Hmm.
I like storytelling. I like listening to stories. I like reading stories.
Great. And when do you get to participate in stories?
Um, I feel like I tell stories at work all the
Mm.
time. It may not be the type of stories that I like to read, but um, because I'm a program manager and I work in technology, so I'm always telling stories about whether I'm asking for budget, pitching something, getting teams to do something. I'm always telling a story. So I guess that's my creative talent.
Yeah, that's
My
great.
siblings got the rest of the really cool talents.
Well, that's going to be really helpful actually in this whole session
Right.
together today. So we can think of it in a sense that this whole half hour, whatever we have together, you're creating a story and I'm here to be of assistance. Okay. So tell me, as though you were telling a story, what it's like when you are being creative in this way, how it feels, what shows up.
Um, what it's like. What it's like is that I'm I need to take you on a journey with me. I either need some kind of agreement from you, some kind of acknowledgement that you've understood from you, or just a knowledge to take you on board to get you to some kind of finish point, really. So I want to make sure that you've understood. I want to make sure that you're bought in. I want to make sure that your questions are answered. I want to make sure that I'm open to and available for you. Whatever it takes to sort of take you along and get you to where I need you to be.
And how do you know when someone has bought in and they're along for the journey? What do you notice about them?
Um, that they are questioning, that they're engaged, that they're sometimes pushing me, um, that they are bought in, that they're encouraging other people or
Yeah.
they're referring people.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's
And so just imagine a time when you've been in that zone, when the people that you're telling the story to are totally in and you can feel it in yourself and you sense that openness in you. What's it like? Close your eyes and just imagine it's happening. You don't have to say anything to me. Just imagine it's happening, that moment that you know they're on the journey with you. You're going to take them where you need to take them with the story. And this is happening now. You have that openness, that connection. Yeah. And then take a deep breath with that. Just feel that in your whole system, however it shows up. And let it be a resource for you. Awesome. And when you're ready, open your eyes and let's go back to that goal that you mentioned in the beginning. Um, Consolidating what I learned in the last month. And there was another part of it. Do you want to speak more to your goal?
yeah. It was really around being doing this energy course, but there's so much information and trying to pick it up between sort of working a full-time job, trying to build a coaching business, doing coaching with people, that I'm sometimes feeling like things are falling through. So it's just, what have you really learned? And what can you take forward? What is there and what do you have to sort of refresh yourself on? So it's just really, how much do you know? Like a baseline check, which which I think I'm doing really well on, because when Mark was doing the exercise earlier on, and having that life
tour.
I couldn't think of the word.
No worries.
Tour, I was easily saying, oh, that's that strategy, and that's that strategy, and that's. But then when I got into the midst of it, I was so focused on listening and being present that I'm not sure that I was thinking strategy when I was in it, but I could hear it when he was speaking. So I feel like something has dropped, but a bit more work in terms of when I'm actually in the midst of it to think about what's next. So
so that's great clarity, that to consolidate this as a knowing in, it sounds like, in the mind.
Yes.
But then what's it like when you take it a little deeper into your knowing of, like, what you were talking about, that zone you're in when you're actually coaching?
I think there's a bit of work for me to do of taking that knowing and just knowing it in my heart, in my like, just being. But I think when I'm in the sessions, I'm too much in my head about what's next, about hearing, about taking notes. That when I'm really, when I know something, I'm like a dog with a bone, because I know it, but I'm not there yet. When I don't know it, then I'm a bit hesitant. So I'm trying to get to that dog with the bone part where I know it, it's within me.
Perfect.
That it just flows, so I can concentrate on timing and what somebody's saying, and write those down. But I don't have to then worry about the strategies, because it's consolidated inside of me. That's the bit that I'm really trying to get to, if that makes sense.
That metaphor is really powerful, that dog with a bone. So let's just do this kind of creative exercise now, where you bring in metaphors of being in that resourceful state with your goal. So, like, seeing it actualized, it, everything's been consolidated. Is that the same metaphor of the dog that knows what it has and it can go? Okay.
That's where I have power, when I know it. And nobody can tell you wrong. You can always tell that story 1,000 times, because it
love
just
that.
bleeds from you. It's just oozing from your pores, type of thing. That's
so
really
now. So you're so clear with that. That's great. And it sounds like the resistance or the obstacle would be the sense of not knowing it, right? Like that. What were your words? Confusion or needing to, I didn't write down your exact words, actually.
I can't remember.
But there was a little resistance there that you mentioned.
Because I think I'm in my head about, I've got to think about time. I've got to think about what the person's saying. I've got to note these things down, and I don't want to miss anything. So, so I'm thinking about all these things, rather than, okay, I'm so comfortable in this strategy, or how I'm going to extrapolate this, that I can actually be more present with a client, or with somebody that I'm practicing with. That everything else is just, it's okay, because it's not taken away from anything. And I don't feel like I'm there yet. So there's a little disconnect for me, or I'm also really, like, I'm my own biggest critic. So I'm probably being overly analytical about it also. It's possible.
Oh,
I do that.
So that inner critic might be the obstacle.
Sometimes.
Okay. And sometimes it's all the information and details and stuff to track, which is totally natural. So now let's just bring in more of your resources. So we can do this first in terms of thinking, but then let's drop down deep into a deeper energy level. So the resources you have, like storytelling, is a huge resource. What other resources do you have when you're consolidating the information and the learning?
I write copious amounts of notes. I've got books. There's something about writing it down that I feel sort of resonates with me. I also do this thing because I was never really good at exams, so I created. I've trained myself to have a bit of a photographic memory. So if I write it down and I need to recall it for something important, I can picture where I've written it in the page. If I've seen it, I can recall it.
Amazing. Yeah.
Because, but because I used to really struggle with exams, and
Yeah.
I could sit there for the whole however many hours and be totally blank. So I had to find these tools to help myself. So I do that. So there's some power for me in writing things down. So I do a lot of writing things down because if
Yeah.
I've seen it, it just kind of it fires my brain a
Okay,
bit.
those are great, great images there. So you write it, you see it, and it fires your brain and it
Yeah,
gives you power. Is
yeah.
there any kind of deeper experience you could describe about that kind of power of knowing it?
Um, but it's so the deeper thing is that the more I do that, and the more I do that, the more that I have it in myself, the more that I know it, the more that I remember it. So whatever happens, it's just there, and I can just recall it.
Yeah.
Or at least if I don't recall it in the minute, I can just sort of leave it for a minute, and then my brain just recalls it,
Yeah.
and I'm able to sort of move on. But if I just use multiple senses to remember things, because that's just the way that I've always done it.
That's wonderful. So what do you mean by multiple senses? There's the writing, there's the
Yeah,
seeing.
so it's so I'm always like, if I hear something, I'm always like, yes, if I hear something, I'm always like, oh, I can see that. I don't know, but I can hear it, but
Oh,
see it. But
yeah.
I can see it and hear it. It's weird. I can't explain.
No,
But
that's great. That's a
but
bit
I
of the
hear it a lot, and or
synesthesia.
sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
or sometimes
That,
I say, oh, I see that, or I'm reading it, I'm saying, oh, I didn't hear that. Then I read it again so I can hear it. I don't know. I
that's
do.
great. That is great. So do you mind if we do a little closed-eyed process now
Yeah.
where you're integrating right now these resources within yourself?
Mhm.
So if you're comfortable with your eyes closed or softly opened, and just take some deep breaths. And you may want to bring in any senses or thoughts of your higher self, of of your beautiful storytelling ability. Just that feeling you have when you're gathering the information through writing, remembering it, having that experience of the power of making those connections from the different senses, knowing that that information is there for you to bring forward when you need it. And let me know if anything else comes to you that's metaphorical, just like the dog who has that bone and knows where it's going. Does anything else show up as a resource or a way to kind of be with that gathering of that information you have? Could be through colors or shapes or sounds or any of the senses. Let me know.
I'm not sure what. I feel like I can feel somebody's guides. Like there's about 5 guides that I don't think they're mine. Um, but I also feel like I'm being hypnotized, like I've got rapid eye movement.
Okay, so you may be just letting yourself go into a very relaxed state, and just know you're in total control. You can have your eyes open if you want, or you can allow that sense to happen. There's no way to do this
Yeah, perhaps
that's needed.
it
Yeah.
doesn't feel weird.
Yeah.
It just is. Um,
Yes. Yeah. So tell me more about these guides. You said 5 guides?
there's 5 guides. I can kind of see you with straight hair right here.
Uh-huh.
And there's just kind of, and there's a crystal right here, but it's just light.
And would you like to ask these guides for specifically how they're a resource for you? Invite them to give to you, invite yourself to receive from them, whether it's that light or that version of me with the white hair or the crystal you said.
Absolutely got white hair, but I said it was straight. Did I say straight hair?
Straight.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
straight.
she has got white hair.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know why I think it's you, because I can't see the face, but I
That's
can.
okay. Yeah, whatever shows up, just ask them to give you the resources. And you might feel them in a way that it's not visual. You might just feel it in your body. You might feel it or experience it as a gathering of the information you already have, or a kind of way you relate to the knowledge and the wisdom. It might be a new way of using the knowledge and wisdom. You have so many skills in the way you have learned to be able to gather information. So just taking this time to simply honor and value yourself and the work you've done and the goal you have of consolidating this information, knowing your guides are here to support you in that process of consolidating. And just let me know what's happening as you invite that.
But my ears are pulsating right here.
Yeah.
But nothing. It's. There was a burst of black and red color, and there's a vortex of something green with. It kind of looks like a tiger's eye, but it's got more green. But it's like a. It's like a black hole, but it's green with browns and whatever. Right here.
Great. And is it
Oh,
comfortable to allow that to come in as a resource and the feeling in the ears? To just be with that, allowing it to help you? Is that okay?
yeah.
Just letting it be what it is. Sometimes our creative self, our mind, our energy just wants to give to us in ways that our normal self doesn't tend to notice or take in. But you can just take a couple minutes now to receive that as energy, as clarity, as a resource. And if there's anywhere in your body or your energy, or even in imagining yourself in your home or in your workplace, with that resourcefulness there for you, with that knowledge, with that consolidation of that information, you can invite your imagination to help you. And you just let me know when you feel that's happening. And also if anything shows up that is making it more difficult to receive that information, also let me know.
I'm not hearing anything, but I've got pulsating in on my left, like from my thigh to my ankle and my feet on my left side. And I've got a bit of a pulsating on my right hand side from my shoulder kind of down to the top of my breast on my right hand side. But it's on the back side.
And are you comfortable observing it? Would you like to ask the energy to move into the center or to the other side? You can ask the energy to move or to show you things. You're processing with energy is my guess right now. So that pulsing movement can be a kind of gathering of resources throughout your whole system. And you can just invite it to teach you, and in this very real and felt way, you allow that to be a process that gives you even more, gives you more ability. And if your mind or your imagination says to focus on a certain part of the body, just receive that and allow yourself to focus there, bringing your breath there, bringing your energy there. Let me know what's happening.
My right side is not pulsating anymore, but my left side from my thigh to my foot is still pulsating, and now it's around my head, like this half right here, and my cheekbone right here.
And how does it feel to be with that?
It feels fine. It's just noticing. I feel like I can literally feel my blood flowing.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything that you can bring into this experience that helps you feel that gathering of your resources, consolidating of your knowledge, like that? So the energy is bringing that. Do you want to bring it into the heart, or it's in the head now? Do you want to bring it to the gut or into imagining yourself working with a client? Whatever you wish.
I think I want to bring it into like my heart, where I know, so that when I'm working with a client, I just know. It's that just knowing.
Beautiful. So maybe just say that inside as though you're calling to the energy with from the heart space, saying, and I just know. And I just know, and inviting that energy, that movement to meet the heart and make it even more true, even more fully experienced. And I see you're smiling. Tell me what you're experiencing.
Because my heart is radiating all in my chest.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And there's some purple streaks that are just going out like that in my vision, but
Yeah. Be with that. Allow that to do everything that you need right now. And if it helps you to breathe into that or invite it all the way through your whole body or out into time and space to your future self, you
it
can
says
invite
you
it
are
to your future.
always enough. You are always enough.
You are always enough. And is this the feeling, the words? Tell me about that. The knowing. Yeah. Beautiful. And when you're complete, just thanking yourself, recognizing this truth, and taking your time to open your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, knowing it's okay to release energy through emotion, through movement. It can sometimes help to just wiggle a little or shake it out or tap. Yeah. Beautiful. Take your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. So it seemed from my experience that you had a lot happen.
Yeah.
And we don't have to talk about it, but I think it's really good just to acknowledge. And
Yeah.
yeah. And so just on a mind level, you were gathering resources so you knew that you could consolidate the information, and you opened up to the energy part of yourself, and received these experiences, right? Through the body, through the visual senses, through the words, on so many levels. That is an integration.
Right. Okay.
So there weren't a lot of resistances or obstacles.
No.
No.
And it just made me think that it's my monkey mind that's the obstacle.
Oh, good. So you see now a clear obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my analytical mind. I'm Judgy Judgeson here.
And how could you know? How could you know when that analytical mind is kind of revving up what's a way to know it's happening?
She's constantly there, so I don't even notice like I'm the boiling frog. It's just there.
Yeah.
But just being still and having you talk me through it and not thinking about it, but just sort of focusing on what was coming up, shut her down. So I didn't hear any analytics, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably opened me up for receiving and knowing that I know.
Yeah,
And maybe
because you definitely knew that you knew. I mean, there was no doubt from what I witnessed that you were not being self-judging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would be a kind way, if you notice the judging, even if it's happening a lot of the time, you notice it, what's a kind way to relate to it? What's something you could imagine or sense when that comes up?
I tried to, so I just started to work on it. I tried to say, well, is that really true? You know, is it just you? Are you feeling a particular way? And then just stop and notice what's making you judge. But sometimes that's if I catch it. Sometimes I'm already down that slippery slope before I recognize it. But I still try to do that just to make sure that I'm aware of it, because what I'm trying to do is be more aware of it. So therefore, I can talk to it rather than not be aware of it and just do it automatically, which is what I'm trying to avoid.
And when you're aware of it, it sounds like that question brings some curiosity about it. Is that really true? Is there like a curious intent, or what's it like? Is it questioning?
It's a bit of questioning, but all saying, I recognize you, Judgy, you know, and just calling it out a little bit and calling myself out a little bit for having those thoughts. And then just checking that emotion. What is bringing that up? What is causing that?
And can you validate your emotion in that moment? Do you think that might be a good next step? Judgy Judge is here. I see you clearly. I'm asking if you're true.
Yeah.
You check in with your emotion, what you're feeling, and then can you add validation or love to your feeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would be a way to be with, either in words or movements or imagination, to be with that validation of yourself when you've caught that happening? Like, I'll give you some terms and you see if any of them land like that feels like truth. Okay. Here's one. I'm allowed to feel what I feel.
Oh, okay.
Another one might be, I'm finding the feeling underneath the judgment. And I can just breathe with that feeling, whatever it is.
Okay. Now, they both resonate, but the first one, even that, I don't know that I'm allowed to feel what I'm feeling.
That might cause some growth, huh? To give
Yeah,
yourself permission.
because I was never allowed to feel what I was feeling. My mum was always suck it up, don't cry, don't be, that's not
Yeah.
serving you in any way.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm allowed to feel what I'm feeling.
Would you like to be allowed to feel what you're feeling?
I would, but
Interesting, huh? Interesting.
yeah,
That might be a place for discovery, just as an experiment, just for one day.
yeah.
And
Feel
see.
to own feeling what I'm feeling. Wow. Okay.
And it's just it's, feelings come and feelings go, like thoughts come and thoughts go. Like I'm sure you've noticed that if we believed every judgmental thought, it would be paralyzing.
Mm,
And if
I
we,
know.
yeah, and if we restrict our feelings, they tend to be there anyways.
Mm,
They don't tend to react very well to not being validated.
yeah, I know that too.
Yeah. So even if it doesn't even happen like a full experience, just maybe even saying, I hear you, or I feel you feeling for just a few seconds,
Yeah. What if I
or
don't
I
like
allow you. What?
it? What if I don't like it? What if it's
Yeah.
what if I am being really judgy for no reason? Yeah.
So usually there's a feeling. I'm wondering for you, if you catch your mind being judgy and then you look different, what's the feeling here? Is it sometimes something like irritation or not enough,
Yeah.
or this is going too fast, or feelings can come in ways that aren't like strict emotions.
It is mostly irritation.
It's mostly irritation. Yeah.
I think so.
So what's something, let's brainstorm here a minute, but also through the heart. What's something to add to irritation that helps it?
I'm not sure what's helped it, but what I've been doing more of is recognizing that I'm irritated and then calling myself out and saying, is it really true? Do you need to be irritated about this? What is causing, and I never sort of delved deeper into it as you, like you've said, but when I say that, it allows me to just sort of recognize that I'm being irritated and, am I being right and true to be irritated about something? I've just got a new member of staff and she talks forever. And I'm really short because there's so much to do. But then I'm saying, you're such the killer of joy. Like, that's just her energy. Is it really true for you to be irritated? And I say this to myself like constantly every time I talk to this person.
So it sounds like what you're adding in is truth. You're wanting to know, you have a quest to know what's even more true.
Yeah.
So what would it be like? Just imagine you catch yourself, you notice that your state is irritation. What would it feel like if you asked, what's even more true in myself right now? How does that resonate? What's even more true than the irritation? So I'm going with your languaging that you like to ask about truth. So sometimes we can ask what's even more true.
Because truth is really important to me.
Yeah.
But I was talking to somebody today and I don't necessarily always apply that lens to myself, but I do demand it from other people.
Okay. I think you have been applying it to yourself. Honestly, when you tell me about your process with hearing the judgy voice, you're really applying truth. You're really questioning yourself. And my suggestion here would be to add kindness and love with truth. So add that acceptance, add that moment you had in your resourcing, where you said to yourself that you're always enough.
Yeah.
Were those your words?
Yeah.
Would it feel good to add that in to whatever the experience is, whatever the judgment is?
Yeah. I haven't been doing that. To be
That's
fair,
okay.
I've only just been calling out the judgy. Well, I've known I've been judgy for a long time, but I've only just been calling it out now.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the difference in calling it out rather than sort of riding it.
It's great. It's a wonderful difference. It gives pause, it gives openness, it gives clarity. But how would it be to add in, and I'm enough right now?
That would be that would just change my state so fast and in such a great way. And I'm enough right now. I will try it.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So does that sound like a good commitment for the week?
It's going to be a big week, so I'm
okay. You'll write to me. Okay. Write to me at the end of the week. Write to me next Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know how it went.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. That was
Amazing.
lovely. That was wonderful. Thank you. I enjoyed it so much.
Can I just ask? I saw those guides, but I didn't think they were mine. I thought they were yours because my guide doesn't show in that way. But I don't know.
My experience was they were absolutely related to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were new. I don't know.
Or you're seeing something, experiencing something I don't experience. I never know about these things.
Yeah.
But I wasn't experiencing any guides. As you talked about guides, I was experiencing just a sense of holding presence for your process, allowing, accepting, honoring your process the way it would be.
Yeah.
That's what was going on in my system, was just honor exactly what she needs.
Yeah. I do sometimes see things, but I don't necessarily know who it's for, especially when there's a group of people.
Yeah.
So I will say it, but I don't know whether is it a positive? Is it, I don't know. So I just say it as is, but there were these, including you, 5. I don't know how you had platinum, like white hair, but it didn't have your face on it, but I sensed it was you. Yeah. And there were these other 4 people that were there, but that's not how. Well, maybe they were all there for me, but I don't know.
And who knows, if when you're of service the way you are in the world, sometimes you do get things that are for others. So maybe just sharing that was not only helping you, but someone else in this group.
Yeah.
So I totally hold that that's a possibility, that we do connect sometimes to other people's what they need, and it's great what you do, that you witness that. It sounds like you have no problem validating your energy experiences.
I don't know. Well, I've never really thought about it. It's just something that's has always kind of been there. I mean, I used to scare myself crapless when I was a child because I didn't know what it was. And it's only sort of now that I'm just realizing it's just energy, which is partly why I'm on this, just to try and understand it a little bit more and unpack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just remember how you guided the energy into the place in your system of greatest service, and then it expanded out as purple rays out, and it spoke in your heart space. That was really powerful. So you always have that, and you're so calm in the witnessing of energy. So what I felt, I don't know if you felt that, but what I was experiencing from you was this real presence and kind of neutrality in your being able to witness what was happening.
That's how I felt, like really at peace. It was just, I was just feeling it, and it was just there. I didn't have the monkey mind. I didn't have the chatter. I was equally present with it.
Yeah. And that's being really, you were gathering your resources, you were consolidating then. And so that's in you. You can do this anytime on your own. And you might want to, like when you're relaxed in bed, just call in that same experience. You can remember an experience and invite it to keep going. And just say, I'm gathering my resources. I'm consolidating my wisdom from today. We could all do that every night. We could consolidate our wisdom from what we learned that day. What a practice that would be if we all did that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tayo. All right. So guys,
That was beautiful.
I perhaps did not follow the script though.
Can I make 2 points quickly before we
yes.
move on?
Yes.
One is that I wanted to appreciate how, like, as a matter of coaching, the client came up with a question that was then answered very specifically through an experience that was not foreseen. You know, so how do I know, you know, going through energy coaching, how do I know what I know? How do I consolidate it, right? And at that time, it sounded to me like a very intellectual question, like, how do I get it all, you know, lined up? And then going through this process, you know, got it delivered through the body, through energy, through all kinds of other ways. And I think I think it's a nice illustration, for me at least, in coaching, that the client asks for something that they're capable of very often, and they don't know exactly how. And it's a coaching strategy that enables them to find the pathway to that. And the second thing was, this is like a little coaching, I mean, not a little coaching move, but a coaching move that Magali did several times that's really useful, is when the client brings up something that's maybe reporting on how they're feeling. And sometimes it might be like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm a dog with a bone, like a metaphor, right? And that's often, and then she says, great, let's use that. Let's do it just like that, right? Or later, you know, I just want to know, I want to know. Ask yourself, let's do that. Let's just ask what I know. Because sometimes the client will tell the coach, hey, I don't know what to do because this is what it feels like. And the coach can be like, great, let's do that. And take that as the cue that you needed for, like, you know, that was the next thing that maybe the client needed to go into and experience more directly.
And along those lines, during the closed-eyed part of that session, which, by the way, you don't have to do closed eyes at all during the session, but it seemed what I was hoping to do was to go from the mind more down into the experience of consolidating. And I felt if the eyes were closed, it would be easier to get into that. And what I was trying to be, which I actually feel pretty good about, was just really reassuring that it was okay to have the eye movement. It was okay to feel the pulsing. Everything was perfectly okay. And I even spoke out loud. It doesn't seem like there's much resistance. And the client agreed, nope, not much resistance there. And so we just went on. So we don't have to find resistance here. If you find resistance though, when you're doing this work, like let's say the person is gathering their resources and they're like, well, my resources are my love of community. My resources are my imagination. My resources are my family. But at the same time, I have this sense of this dark hole in my heart, even while I'm thinking of my resources. What do you do? What's the magic word? Let's write the magic word in the chat. I feel this dark hole in my chest. And the coach is going, uh-oh, dark hole in the chest. What do? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait for it in the chat.
All right. Welcome
it. It's okay. Welcome. You know that song by Paul Simon, Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend? So that's the atmosphere. Welcome. And you can say to the client, just say welcome. Bring kindness to that experience of that obstacle. What does that obstacle need? What does that resistance need to get a little bit lighter or a little bit more comfortable, to feel your love? What do you want to add to that obstacle or to that resistance, or just straight to that dark hole? What would you like to add to it? The client will usually say something like, I want to add light, or I want to add room, or I want to move it away from me. Go with whatever they say. Go ahead and just do that. Imagine it away from you. Imagine adding light in. If it's a more mental thing, like actually there was a resistance when we were talking, and it was that that judgy, right? So we got to the resistance after the closed-eyed part. And then we brainstormed what words, what emotions would be helpful to the resistance. So the resistance came in at the end. Resistance is quite a friend. We never know when it'll pop up, but we welcome, we work with it. The client already has tools and resources. We add even more to those. So that's the way it goes.